An absolute end to austerity measures, budget to employ more teachers, as well as healthcare professionals. These are among the issues that have been highlighted and called for here at a gathering just in front of Parliament. Of course, various trade union federations as well as civil society movements have come together ahead of the midterm budget speech. Of course, with me is SABC General Secretary Zwelinzima Vavi. Mr. Vavi, you were saying that we cannot operate as a country with austerity measures. You are highlighting the absolute dire situation facing the working class people of South Africa. What do you want a finance minister to address in his medium-term budget speech?
Well, he must say we have tried everything to please capital. We've cut the taxes to 27% from 52%. We have allowed them to move money left, right and center. We have reduced the speed bumps that should keep the money inside. In addition, they are allowing them to move over 1 trillion rands now through cash outflows and mispricing. Everything that they've done have not worked. We want a government that is going to have to admit that neoliberalism in the context of this massive developmental backlogs is not going to work in South Africa. It can work in Europe and New York. After they too would have had their own Marshall plans. We don't have a Marshall plan in South Africa. They've abandoned the RDP. They've put the Freedom Charter economic demands in the dustbin. We want a government that is going to be realistic, to say, look, we are facing a catastrophe of 43% unemployment rate or 12.3 million South Africans who are unemployed, with 70% of our young people below the age of 25 being unemployed. The face of unemployment poverty has remained me and you, black people in this country. We've now even forgotten that at one point we were promised a better life for all. We are seeing a misery for black people. We are seeing deprivation for women, for youth. Our youth is losing hope, and it is being driven to another pandemic in our country, the drugs pandemic. And that's why it is so easy to hire the idling people who are unemployed to commit massacres everywhere in the Eastern Cape and in the Western Cape. Can't government see that what they've been doing since 1996 have simply dismally failed them? And that's why they now have only about 40% of the vote of the remaining voting population.
So first of the GNU, do you think that there will be some of your concerns raised in this budget?
Not at all. Even the DA is now beginning to hypocritically crying. The Minister of Home Affairs is crying that there is only 37% of staff in his department. The Premier of the Western Cape is crying that his budget is being cut. The Cape Town Mayor is crying that the Cape Town Metro Mayor budget is being cut. The budget cuts are grinding. Every minister from education, healthcare, police, army, labor, even the labor cannot employ enough inspectors. They have only about 2,000 inspectors. The Minister of Labor says he needs to employ 20,000 more inspectors to enforce the labor laws in the country. But he doesn't have the means. He says he's going to have to employ interns. Just imagine that they are going to have to retrench CCMA staff so that workers do not go anywhere when they are being butchered in their workplaces.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vavi. Of course, the General Secretary of the SABC, Zwelinzima Vavi, just giving us an indication of the issues that their trade union federation, as well as COSATU and other civil society organizations, are highlighting ahead of the medium-term budget speech.